What's up again, guys? Yeah, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Dovahkiin, and welcome back to Let's Play Wasteland 3. And before we begin, be sure to hit on the subscribe button for more great videos. Okay, in the last episode, we finished Adilon's quest, Cinema Verite, by salvaging some old movie reels in the Monster Army bunker. We also dealt with La Perla's quest, Slaver's Bounty, by lying to an escaped slave girl named Haley, which led to her recapture. My reputation with the refugees took a hit, but in return, La Perla gave us the codes to open the vaults back at the base, and boy, that was the best haul in this game so far. In today's vid, we will raid the holiest site of the Lost Payasos, the Clown Museum, which is just northwest of the bazaar, and there are no quests associated with this area. Alright, let's play. Again, this is a raid, and there's no point in having a convo with them, so just go for the ambush by seizing the first strike.
That was hilarious!
Take note of this ballerina gyro. We will need 4 of these. To power up the door, just put someone on the starting circle of the bowling alley. Nice! A cold damage flamethrower. But too bad, because it doesn't scale with Milk's heavy burner build. By the way, if you want to know my squad's mid-game builds, watch episode 11. Anyway, Milk is already wielding the Incinerator, the second best flamethrower in the game, which I got in the Ranger HQ vaults in the previous vid. And I've already modded it with a tactical light and an extra turkey choke, which gives it an additional range of 3 meters. I haven't slapped a magazine mod on it though, because it goes against her draw perk. Less magazines means more reloads, thus more free shots. Okay, another Tarjan token. Anyhow, I went in depth all about this and the Tarjan machine in the Bizarre Interior back in episode 13, and the link is in the description. We can't enter through there. Let's try this door. Negative as well, so let's just get the 4th and final gyro.
problem. You don't got a ticket, you don't get in. Well, there's the ballerinas. They've been broke for a while now, and nobody knows how to fix them. If you got them going again, I guess I could let you in. You did? Let me see! Let me see!
What the fuck? Now we arrive at the main showdown, and this is just a mediocre fight if I may say. But take note of the Payaso clown car, cause enemies will spawn out from it. However, what you really want to watch out here are the 3 heavy machine turrets. But you can just preemptively disable them. Follow me. Again, this is a raid, so you don't have to chat with them. Just let your bullets do the talking. And for this entire map, no damage at all. Wow, a weapon and horn upgrade for the Kodiak. The Wasp gun is a flamethrower which requires Weird Science 10 to craft, but I'm still short of that requirement. Anyway, speaking of guns, in the previous vid, I got the Ripper in the Ranger HQ Vaults, the second best SMG in the game. Then I've modded it with a broach rifle barrel, a red dot scope, and a max capacity magazine. However, the mod that I want to highlight is the plasma linkage, which converted it from physical to energy damage, which in turn scales with my SMG Specialist Raven's build, who focuses on weird science. However, let me segue on something first before we go in depth on the Ripper. Before the making of this episode, I was back at grinding EXP on random hostile encounters. Actually, just a short grind for a couple of levels, and I was exploring the eastern plains near Yuma County, when suddenly a hidden boss, the Golden Scorpitron, popped up. However, as opposed to my expectations, well, aside from the fact that it was just solo and without minions, it wasn't really that hard. And they say that you can even use the Kodiak to ram the shit out of it and deal tons of damage. But I just killed it conventionally though, and this is the evidence. Unfortunately, I wasn't recording at that time, because I was just doing random encounters, and obviously I wasn't expecting anything like that. As per notable loot, I got this teddy bear utility, which is packed with significant bonuses. I also obtained the laser sprayer, the third best SMG in the game, next to the Ripper to be exact. Now let's go back to that discussion about the Ripper. The laser sprayer, on the other hand, inherently does energy damage, so take note of its maximum penetration of 99. Compared to my modded Ripper, yes, it does energy damage now, but look at its penetration. Actually, that's just 14, but the broach rifle barrel mod gave it a +2. So, yes, the plasma linkage doesn't provide max penetration, and it also reduced 10% off from Raven's range damage bonus. Therefore, you may think that the laser sprayer is not far off from the modded Ripper in terms of damage output, because of the penalties on penetration and range damage bonus, right? But that is not the case. The Ripper fires 10 rounds per attack, as opposed to the 4 rounds of the laser sprayer. And because of that rate of fire, factoring in its unload ability, the overcharge perk, and most importantly, crit chance, it is safe to say that the modded Ripper is practically the best SMG in the game. Yes, even better than the supposed best, the one that does explosive damage, which I'm not gonna reveal just yet. Now, I'm gonna show you how insanely OP the modded Ripper is. Alright, we're now here at the southwestern part of the world map to hunt down another Scorpitron, the normal one. But there's really nothing normal about it. In fact, it's exponentially harder than the golden one, and I'll explain that later. By the way, to gain the advantage over it, click on it. The normal nerd stuff skill check of 8 will be reduced down to 4, thus giving your squad the first turn. To remind you again, This is Supreme Jerk Mode, the hardest difficulty. And what makes this battle way harder than the golden one is the entourage. Each one of these minions can potentially one-hit your ass. They are called killers and slicer-dicers for a reason, right? Anyway, take note of the Scorpitron's 5.7k plus HP, cause I'm gonna bring that shit down in just 2 attacks. Yes, you heard me right. Just 2 fucking moves. And the key to that is crit chance. So I'm gonna use up everything I can muster to boost that, plus a few ones just for the hell of it. Talking about drugs, by the way. Anyhow, I am in no way OP for this fight, cause my squad's average level is just 19, and you're gonna see that while I'm prepping up. You saw that damage, right? That was insane. Kabam! What did I tell you? Just 2 fucking attacks. And except for the Kodiak, which is obviously my tank, no damage at all. Although guaranteed high-level stuff, the loot is random, and you can always redo this battle until you get what you want. The plasma linkage recipe is the only sure drop. And remember, that mod was the first key in winning this fight. So come to think of it, we just went full circle. And for all we know, the devs might have intentionally left that there as a clue on how to easily defeat the Scorpitron. Just saying, by the way. Anyway, just an FYI, there's another Scorpitron, at the north, near the Tellurium mine to be exact, but I'm gonna save that for later. And that is all there is for now. Thanks for watching. Also check out other videos from Sabbathman Philippines, and don't forget to subscribe. See you on my next vid. Peace out.